Hello, I want to do a flip through of this journal that I just finished. Took me a lot longer to finish than I expected it to, and it kind of took on a life of its own as I was working with it. It will go into my Etsy shop when I get a chance to take some pictures, which hopefully I'll be able to do in the next couple of days. But right now I just wanted to share it with you all. I made it with a friend of mine gave me some wallpaper sample books, and this was the first journal that I made from those books. And as I was working on it, starting it, first of all, I will say that there are some old letters and envelopes and things like that in here that aren't actually old. They're printed, aged. I did them all. They're all new, but just made to look old. So I was working on this journal, looking through what I had in my computer and in my files for the ephemera. I started seeing this lady in maybe the 1890s who had, maybe their family came on hard times, and she was just gathering here and there what she could to put together a journal and trying to, things that maybe she had done as she was younger and couldn't do anymore, but she was just making do, in other words, and putting old pieces of paper or just whatever she could come up with, old pieces of lace or ribbon. So that was kind of the feeling and the idea that I got as I was putting this together. On the cover, let's see, there's some bead trim around here, all the way around. I don't know if I can get that focused in. Yeah, see, it's kind of a crocheted trim with some ribbon. And the lace is on the inside of the cover. Here and there are these little enameled dots in the centers of the flowers. There's the side. I just love this wallpaper. This is kind of a Victorian look to me, but there's some other little enamel dots there. Just to give it a little bit of accent. Got to measure it. Don't remember what the measurements are, but it's like about 10 by 6 if you count the laces and things. So throughout the book, it's actually put together as a kind of in a travel journal style. Each one of the signatures, there are 5 signatures, and each one is put in with an elastic band, like you would in a travel journal, and can be taken out. Find the center of this. See? And could be slided in and out or whatever to add or take away. Start on the inside here. You have the lace trim, and here's a pocket. I used almost every little piece of the wallpaper, coordinating wallpapers, in the book. I think I had a couple of little pieces left here and there, but and also, like I said, I could kind of see this lady, just whatever she could get her hands on. This is just a piece of manila to do journaling in her book. Okay, so and here we have a pocket bag, which actually has 2 pockets. Let's see. You have to forgive me here. I'm trying to watch and keep focused at the same time. But there's actually 2 pockets here, the way the bag's put in. And throughout there are some stamping, just very few decorations, but there are some. And the papers are mixed, and the signatures are mixed between coffee stain, heavier weight printer paper. I think it's like a 24-pound printer paper, and a parchment. Okay. So, coffee stain. And let's see. We have a few ribbon and cord bookmarks. And here we have signatures are all sewn using I think it's not pamphlet stitch, but saddle stitch maybe. Hand sewn each one. And like I said, so you could take them out if you wanted to. But here's a pocket with a couple of little journaling spots underneath. And that's just slid into the elastic. And a piece of camera. I think this is an old receipt. Yep, an old receipt. And all of these pieces that I printed, I've got from various sources, but I'll try to put a couple of them down in the bottom. I can't actually remember which place I got this from, but it's possibly the Graphics Fairy. She does a whole lot of this type thing. And here's a band with a card tucked in. A few pages, another tuck spot. Pages, and here's the looks like the back of an old envelope that's got some water stain and a tuck spot, and again just vanilla file folder. And like I said, this lady just taking anything she can get her hands on to give her something to journal with. The wallpaper piece, and each one of these signatures also, I failed to tell you that each one of them has a piece of the wallpaper front and back, so they almost make like a little standalone booklet, each one. Let's see, where's the beginning and the end of that one. See if you took it out, you've got your own little booklet here. Okay, so just lay that aside. Okay, your second one here, have a little pocket here, and this actually has two, could be used as two pockets also. Has one in the back and then the pocket. And there's some pages, a tuck spot. And some of these pieces are coffee stained. The lady really scrounging. I think she may have just actually pulled some pieces of wallpaper off the wall to make this book. There's another receipt. Like I said, none of these are actually vintage. They're just aged by me. And this little tuck spot here has this is actually made with a heavyweight tracing paper. I came across that Marie Blundell, I believe it was. If I'm pronouncing her name right. I had a tutorial on using tracing papers on YouTube to make pockets and bags and envelopes, I think. Anyway, that was the idea I used for this, and this is a real heavy, almost feels like vellum. It's actually a tracing paper. I thought that's kind of cool the way those did. More papers. Another tuck spot. This kind of looks like it might have been torn out of a book. And a card. Wallpaper. And here she took the front of this envelope to make a pocket with, and it's kind of raggedy and torn. And in the back of this signature, she did the back to make another little pocket with, and use the back. And again, this is not a real vintage envelope. I printed this off and aged it myself. Made it look like it could have been real. But this coffee stained, and it really unique way this page turned out. And this is just a little die cut frame that I glued down. Make a nice little place for a photo. This is about the only piece of wallpaper I had with any size left out of this, so I just tucked it in. These are 2 junk mail envelopes that I made pockets with. Little cards, water stained, bless her heart. There's another receipt. So there's a pocket in between the two. And back here is another. And this is a poem. And I'm not going to read it to you, but it was in a pack of ephemera printouts that I got. I thought it was kind of sweet. And I think the date on here, it says 12th August 99. So 1899, I'm assuming. By the handwriting and that type thing. Say that over there. Like I said, you have these pockets. More journaling pages. And here's another back of an envelope. Oh, that's the one I just showed you. I'm sorry. Duh. Keep up. Here's a pocket with some of the wallpaper cut out to decorate it. Another tuck spot. And this is just a blank piece of paper to use to journal on that I tucked in there. Let's see here. This is an junk mail envelope to use as a pocket. I kind of wish now I had gone back in and tried to make the inside of that look old, but I didn't. So, and I'm calling this Baby Done. Several pages here. Every now and then there's just a little unexpected piece of trim or a stamp. Another die cut piece and stamp, and just kind of decorative. Okay, and this signature, here we have a torn piece of paper and a stained, I like the way that's stained. That's piece of manila file folder that I soaked in coffee, and this particular spot was stuck up out of the coffee, and it seemed to wick a lot of the color. So anyway, another band with a couple of journaling cards, a couple little die cuts. And this is one of those little folded, like 6-pocket. You fold the paper, and there's a pocket here and here, here and here, and here. Those are kind of cool. Just fun to work with, fun to make. Another piece that looks like it could have been torn out of like a book while it's on a file folder. And just scrap pieces of paper. And the back here has a pocket. And, like I said, this whole book is done. Each signature is done with the ability to take it out. This is elastic cord, similar to how you would do a traveler's journal. So they can be removed and other things tucked in there. And that is my Victorian ladies junk journal. It's really a joy to make. Like I said, I didn't think I'd ever finish, but I did. So thank you for watching. Bye.